This narrative is so old and so dead, but it's still hilarious. And before I get into this video, I'm gonna preface this by saying I'm a way bigger fan of Aaliyah than I have ever been of Beyonce, but I still know the fucking truth. And the truth is, when Aaliyah was active, there were probably at least 10 female acts of her genre that was still outselling her, including Destiny's Child. Shoot, even when Alicia Keys dropped her album on the same day as Aaliyah, guess who sold the most? By a landslide. Now, if we want to get into some facts, her final album only sold 137,000 copies. It did debut at number 2 right behind Alicia Keys' album, but even after the album dropped, sales steadily declined for a few months. It wasn't until after her death that the album actually went platinum. Even the leading single, We Need a Resolution, peaked at number 59 on the charts. And as I mentioned before, when it came to female acts, she was barely cracking the top 10. We're talking about, well, she was active. Toni Braxton, J-Lo, Mary J, Janet, Brandy, Monica, Maya were all either outselling her or even around the same bracket of sales. TLC was still selling a lot of records. Mariah Carey and Whitney were definitely still outselling her. And once again, as I said, I do love Aaliyah. I really do, more than I ever have Beyonce's music. But the reality is she was underperforming when it came to sales and chart placements. So in no way, shape, or form she was halting Beyonce's career. Actually, Beyonce was still thriving while she was alive. And because she was the lead singer of a Grammy-winning group, she was going to go solo and she was going to win regardless. Aaliyah was beautiful. She can dance pretty well, and her vocals live were a little okay, but they were passable. There's no way that she was halting Beyonce, who is a juggernaut of a talent. That's just the reality of it.
Ah, I've seen the same thing myself. I wanted to add my 2 cents, but we don't want Beyonce's fans to go crazy now, do we? No. Um, or Aliyah's fans to go crazy. However, I do agree with him. I mean, Aliyah, the only time I started getting her music is when after she died. And I'm sure the people who created her death, they were like, let's just create her death and she's gonna just make more money in death than she does alive. There's labels that they're signed to. I'm sure they got tired of her, and she was under, like we're saying now, she's like, she was underperforming. She was not like the best of the best, but the labels were like, oh, we can cash in more money in her death. Maybe they will peak, and that's exactly what happened. You know, these labels are like that. It's either you make money alive or they make money with you dead. Sometimes artists would make more money when they're dead so that they can recover their loss from you. It could be as well that they were just not making much more profit from Aaliyah and that they had to shelf her. And the best way to shelf her was to her. And then Beyonce had to take her place. And then Beyonce knew you had to keep up or they shelf you, or you just become irrelevant. So she had to work her so she does not become like Aaliyah. She had to create her own space. She had to be top of the notch. She had to have this sleepless night. She just had to work and become a workaholic because that is what is expected of her as a black woman. She would not be irrelevant because Beyonce would have not allowed it because she's a workaholic. She knew that the industry does not work like that. The industry works completely different from how you see it on the media and how it works in reality. And this is why you can never be the worker of a person that you are a fan of. You're a fan of Beyonce, and you're like, oh, I'm a fan, I'm a fan, I'm a fan, I'm a fan. And then you sign to her label, and she does not treat you like that. She doesn't treat you with the respects, and she, like, back then you were just a fan. You don't know her like that. So you don't make decisions based on feelings. You don't make decisions based on, I love you, because love is interchangeable. You can really, that love can die. That love that you feel for that person and then you adored so much. It has happened in the industry, and Beyonce has known about the very same thing. I'm craving snacks. Wait a minute. There was a lot going on behind the scenes that led to Aaliyah's demise. And they were planning to take her out eventually. And they were going to take her out. They were going to say, um, Aaliyah has reached her peak time, and this is the way we can make money with her. You know, she was scared. I believe she also knew what was coming, and she did tell her then partner, because she was attracting a lot of these men, and a lot of these men were falling in love with her. So she did tell one of her partners, it could be DMX or the other one, I forgot, Jay-Z's partner. I mean, not like lover, but Jay-Z's business partner. I forgot his name. Um, the one with the bloated ego that used to date Aaliyah back then. So I believe Beyonce did get a lot of hint about Jay-Z, and she did not want to become that girl. Beyonce worked so hard to become the woman that she is, for us to discredit her work like that just because you do not like her. And I've also seen the rumor of people saying things of sort about her. She has worked. She has worked continuously hard to top the chart, and she would have topped Aaliyah even if she was alive, because I still think that at this point Aaliyah would have become irrelevant, you know, with her scandals with R. Kelly as well. So we just do not know the type of woman she would have unfolded into. No shade, but like I said, the only time I've heard about Aaliyah is when she passed away, her music. And she became a sweetheart eventually after that. So she's Beyonce, talented, a dancer, a mom, definitely an overachiever, very competitive. And knowing what we know about her, that she even got women out of her league, out of her genre back then, which was what, pop and R&B, I believe. Is it pop? She got them out, like Kelly Hilson, or what is her name? Yeah, that one. She got her out, and uh, Amaria. Why don't we fall in love? Because I used to love her music, that one. So a lot of women, she's very competitive. And also Rihanna, like what we've heard, like she used to chase them out of the genre. But Rihanna was like the new it girl, and she had to be made to be on this tiptoe with Beyonce. And I think she knew that it was gonna come. So she enjoyed the dominance in her era as well. So she's not lacking anything. She would have topped Aaliyah even if she was alive. She would have had Jay-Z even if she was alive. Hopefully, I don't know about that, but yeah, she would have, knowing how competitive she is. But she wouldn't have. She would have eventually, Aaliyah. That that was in her faith, unfortunately. That's how the industry works. We don't see the back scenes of it. We, like I said, we just see the tiny bits of it. Homemade snacks are the best. I made them at home. I really made them at home. The crunch. Delicious.